What is up, guys, and welcome to another edition of Market Marauders, beating the market one trade at a time. If you're new to Market Marauders investment channel, helps you find the best deals in the market. That's something you're interested in. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Definitely helps the YouTube algorithm promote the videos. All right, so I'll be going into my top ETFs that I think everyone should watch or definitely keep on your radar in the coming weeks as we solidify this Biden presidency. The first one on here is ticker sign PAWZ, and that is ProShare Pet Care ETF. Now, if we look at them at the time of this video, they are bearish, denoted by the moving average 10 being below the moving average 100. So they ended the week at $63.84. So make sure you go check it out. But on the channel, I like to give some background information on what the company is and what they're holding. So let's go jump into the ETF and see what stocks they have in this portfolio. So in this portfolio, basically an ETF is just a group of different stocks in one single fund. So if you're not familiar with what ETFs are, that's the simplest way to say it. It's a group of stocks in one fund. So instead of buying all these individual stocks, you buy just the ETF. And then with the ETF, you'll have portions of all of these different companies. So it's a great way to diversify. Buying one ETF is basically, diversifying your portfolio, but they're kind of niche down because this one is focused on pet care. So if we see some of their top holdings is IDEX Laboratories, Fresh Pet, you got Chewy, Merck Incorporation, Pets at Home. So this is the weighted of their holdings with IDX or ticker sign IDXX being their top holdings. So for all the ETFs, you can basically go in and check to see what they're actually holding, which is good information because let's say you like Chewy the most out of all this and you're like, well, I think Chewy is going to do better than all of these. You can always go and just get one single stock of Chewy, which I think it's kind of nice that ETFs actually show you what they're actually investing in because, it shows you kind of the way that the fund manager actually is thinking. So ETFs do have fund managers. Most of them have fees, but some of them range in different prices. But there is someone actively or passively managing the fund of the ETF. So just bear that in mind when choosing an ETF. Go to the next one. We got ticker sign PRNT, and that is for the 3D printing ETF. So 3D printing, I think, has kind of fallen off, in a little while, but I think it's going to come back, as the renewable energy wave starts to come back, in my personal opinion. At the time of this video, they ended at $26.80. So definitely going to be looking for them to continue to go up. They are bearish at the time of this video, but could potentially be bullish. Looking at their trajectory, it looks like they're starting to swing back up. So potentially they could pull out and be bullish. So this is by a company called ARK Invest. Now, ARK Invest became famous from their person who's over it named Cathie Woods. She was the main person who was big up in Tesla, talking about all the potential that Tesla had before anyone really jumped on the Tesla train. Cathie Woods was the person who basically was saying, I see potential in Tesla. This is basically the company she works for, ARK Invest, where she helps actively manage these different funds. So this is one of the funds in that actual company for 3D printing, and has SLM Solutions, Stramian, then it has 3D System Corp, HP, MGI Digital, Graphic Technology, Trimble, PTC Incorporated, just to name a few on here. But then you can actually see how many shares they have and how much the shares are going for and how much they are actually putting in towards this. So on here, their percentages are a little bit different because the amount of shares that they hold, like on this one for STMN, is actually less than some of the rest of these. But it looks like it was potentially rebalanced to have a higher percentage. So, it doesn't go by market value wise; it goes by percent wise, because every time money is put into it, that's how it's going to be distributed with those different weights. So definitely look at them. I think 3D printing has definitely a potential to come back, especially when it comes to expanding into printing parts for vehicles, machine equipment, things of that nature. I think that section will begin to boom again when industry starts to come back. So going to the next one, we have American Customer Satisfaction, or ACSI is the ticker. At the time of the video, they are bullish, denoted by their moving average 10 line being above the moving average 50 and 100, and VWAP is also pretty high. So they ended on a pretty high note at 41.23 at the time of this video, and I think they have potential to continue to go up. So on here, we can see some of in the funds, their top weighted holdings that they have: Amazon, Apple, Hilton Worldwide, which I know definitely suffered from the pandemic going on, but I think Amazon and Apple were like the two that actually benefited the most. So this is a very interesting weighted fund. So they have Charles Schwab, Google, Southwest, United Health Group, FedEx, Hershey, and Pepsi. So these are all, names. Everyone has heard of these names. If you're not, you probably haven't heard of United Health Group, but they're a pretty popular name as well. So I like this fund, in my personal opinion, because I think it's weighted very smartly. So Amazon and Apple being, or Amazon, Apple, and Google being the three, really big names in here. You have Hilton, Southwest, and Charles Schwab. So I think those three, or at least those two, Hilton and Southwest, will definitely make a rebound once the stimulus is passed. So I wouldn't say, completely rush this one off. All the rest of them, I think it did pretty good during the pandemic, but Hilton and Southwest, I think, were the ones that were hit kind of the hardest during the pandemic. But once that's over and the stimulus is passed, I think both of these, and a vaccine is actually, approved by the FDA, I think both of these will, help to bring up the value of this actual ETF. So definitely keep your eyes out on this one, because I think it was a very interesting way that they linked all these different stocks together to make this ETF. So going to the last one, we got ticker sign ICLN, and that is Ishares Global Clean Energy. Now, if you're familiar with the Biden administration and the Democratic campaign, they are all for clean energy. One of the topics or speaking points was the Green New Deal that President Biden was talking about, but where President-elect Biden was talking about. So that's definitely going to be on the table, I think, once he becomes president or is finally sworn in. So definitely look forward to clean energy and renewable energy mandates that are coming out through the government. He definitely talked about going back into the Paris Climate Act or Paris Climate Accord. So that's going to benefit those people or those companies that are all about clean, renewable energy. So I definitely say this one is really low at the current moment, especially considering, the administration hasn't really started to put those mandates in, which I definitely think are in the works. So going into their holdings and what they have in their portfolio, which I thought was very interesting, their number one holding or their highest weighted is Plug Power. So Plug Power used to be a penny stock, way back when. I remember covering Plug Power when it was, back in the penny stock days. But for me, to have a fund that has Plug Power as their number one highest weighted fund in here, I thought was very interesting. A lot of these other names, are renewable energy, like the XINYI Solar Holdings Ltd. That's clean renewable energy. I think this whole sector is definitely one to look forward to as far as ETFs are concerned. And I think, they're going to continue to grow as time goes on. So definitely look at these. These are my picks for this week. So we got PAWS, PRNT, we got ticker sign PAWZ, got ticker sign PRNT, ticker sign ACSI, and ticker sign ICLN. So make sure you check those out. Drop a link down below. Tell me which ETFs you guys are looking at, or if you're interested in learning more about ETFs, drop a comment down below. I'll try to answer it if I can answer any questions that you have. Good luck to everybody out there trading out there this week, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.